next story. And China says it wants to work with the United States to advance stable relations between the two countries. The Foreign Ministry spokesperson Guo Jiakun stressed that despite ups and downs in the past year, China-US relations have maintained overall stability. Guo said this stability serves the shared interests of both countries and the international community. He also noted that China-US cooperation is mutually beneficial, while confrontation would hurt both sides. He added that China is ready to work with the US on promoting a steady development of their relations, but also emphasized that China will firmly defend its sovereignty, security, and development interests. This statement comes as both countries continue to face complex issues in their diplomatic ties. Let's listen into the statements.
过去1年，中美关系历经起伏波折，实现总体动态稳定，这符合中美两国人民的共同利益，也符合国际社会的共同期待。1年来，中美关系发展的历程再次表明，中美合则两利，斗则俱伤。中美应该在平等、尊重、互惠基础上，探索两个大国的正确相处之道。中方愿同美方一道，推动中美关系稳定发展，同时坚定维护自身主权、安全和发展利益。
Collins joins us once again. Collins, quite a positive statement there from the Chinese spokesperson. Given that, of course, we saw what some would call a trade war between the two countries. Of course, we've seen arms sales to Taiwan, which has aggravated relations along the Taiwan Strait further, among many other instances of aggravated superpowers flexing their muscles at one another. How do you analyse this statement coming from the Chinese Foreign Ministry that in fact touts the relations as somewhat stable?
Well, China is facing sustained pressure now. It is now being forced into a tight corner by President Trump's moves, from Venezuela to Iran to, tight control, and of course also different, comprehensive measures in place. And this statement should be read as a tactical signaling. Of course, not a fundamental shift in posture from Beijing. And of course, we have seen how, the pressure being faced in terms of slowing domestic growth, in terms of the demographic decline, in terms of capital outflows, the investor caution in China, and with all these economic measures in place, and tariffs, and trade, tax sanctions, financial decoupling. So all these have forced Beijing into this, to compel Beijing to have this move, this fallback option to portray restraint and to reduce external friction. And of course, also this is also being meant as a strategic messaging, a narrative to other powers that China needs to be seen as the one that is willing to reset ties. And of course, also this will have profound positive implications on its perception and narrative. So, but of course, we have seen how the timing of this entire equation, where domestic pressures and domestic limitations, and the need to portray positive signals to President Trump. Also, at the same time, in parallel, we have seen red lines have been continue to remain so with regards to Taiwan, with regards to ensuring that all the moves by not only by the US but by Japan will then be framed as the ultimate red lines being set, and that we have seen how the measures in place in terms of these friend-sharing efforts, fallback options by Beijing, defense diplomacy or economic diplomacy with South Korea now, with ASEAN and with Europe and with Canada. So these are all being done in parallel, but at the same time also to send this two-pronged message to the West, to Washington, that while we are all out we are ready to have this recalibrated ties, positive note. At the same time also we are more than capable to sow discord or divisiveness in the Western Hemisphere, in the Western Front, with regards to the move now to have a new wave of ties with Canada. So this is a strategic move by Beijing. It is by no measure that is being seen as a weaker partner, but more of a messaging, a positive messaging to other countries that China is the bigger party here in terms of readiness to play its part in the wider needs for a more stable region.
Collins Chong-Yu-Keat, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. We finish this hour in the Middle East, where amid the shifting front lines in northeastern Syria, reports regarding the Shadadi prison break have been a major point of contention between the Syrian government and the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. In the hours following the breakout, Syrian special forces and army units entered Shadadi to secure the prison and launch an immediate manhunt. While reports suggest that over 2,000 prisoners have escaped, US officials have said that many of them have been recaptured. The chaos erupted as the Syrian government forces and local tribal groups moved to take control of the Hasakah province following the collapse of a brief ceasefire, leading to a breakdown in security at the detention facility. Meanwhile, the situation remains volatile. The two sides continue to trade blame, with Damascus accusing the SDF of intentionally releasing prisoners as political blackmail, while the SDF maintains that they lost control of the site due to relentless attacks by pro-government factions. We have some breaking news, and at least 31 civilians were killed in an armed attack on Sunday in the village of Boisai, located in western Niger near the borders with Burkina Faso and Mali. The attack, carried out by unidentified assailants, left 30 people dead at the scene, while one of the 5 wounded later succumbed to their injuries in a medical centre. The region, known for being plagued by jihadist groups, has been experiencing increasing violence in recent years. Local sources and a student union confirmed the death toll. This attack marks the latest in a series of brutal assaults in the area, raising concerns about the security situation across the Sahel. Well, that's all that we have time